Right, it is now time to tackle this diesel pump timing belt. Down in there, behind that little diaphragm unit there, whatever that is, something to do with the fuel system, there is a plastic cover on the back side of the engine, and as you can see, getting to that cover is going to be an absolute nightmare. The only way I can see to do this is to take off this scuttle panel, which means taking off that side has got wipers on half. There's a joiner here, so if I can get this side off unclipped, there's a half a chance, and I think that's the only way we can do it. It's half a chance of going in here and getting to the back of it there. So I'm going to have a go at that. I don't think I need to take the other side off, because I'd have to take the wipers off to do it, and I don't need to do that. I'm not going to bother. So I hopefully can get this cover off of here unclipped, be able to pull that off in one piece, and then be able to get to the timing belt at the back. So let's have a go at it. Right, so one clip there. Then we need to prise out a few plastic clips. Some of them are missing already, so clearly they've been off in the past, and probably for exactly this reason. That's one, other one. So that's those two bits done. Now I don't know how this is held on otherwise. There's a metal plate there, which I think also comes off, which allows us to get where we need to be. Now it's just a question of how is this held on. And under there's the ABS unit under there by the look of it, and another module. So this must be able to get this off. There is actually an inspection cover here, but that is for a left-hand drive brake master cylinder on the top there. So that is, the cover is outlined, but it's still part of the actual plastic. So that one is not coming out. So it's just a case of pulling it out. There's a groove here in the bottom of the windscreen, and that's what that sits in. Look at the filth in there, absolutely filthy. Jeez. This groove here, the bottom edge of that, just there where my thumb is, that's what clips into this part. Now the next question is getting this cover here, because this under here is where the diesel belt is. Right, so here is the cover. There's the metal clip, and I guess there's one further along, and that's the cover there for the diesel timing belt. Now clearly this is not going to be easily filmable, because the access is virtually impossible to get your hands in, let alone a camera. But I'll do my best. But that's how you get to it. I've not pulled this panel right out because something is holding it at the other end. It's not tight, but neither is it movable any further than what I've got it. But even if I had the the ability to get it out, I've still got this bracket in the way to get my hand in anyway. It may be that I've got to go further with it, but at the minute I'm just going to try and see how far I get with it as it is. So I'm going to persevere, and I can't film this part because it's just not going to work. I'll come back to you in a minute. Okay, now where we're at with this, there's the cover on my finger there, just here. There's a plastic pipe, goes onto a little clip. On that clip, that goes through a metal bracket which has got to come off. Bolt there, one there which holds this loom, and then one at the back here which holds a pipe as well. And then on the back of on the bottom of that there, just behind there's another pipe. Not sure if you can see where my finger is. It's all black as well, which doesn't help. There's another bolt which holds that pipe, and that holds the plate that's above the cam belt, the injection pump belt box. And you've got to get all of those out, which then loosens that plate, and I'm hopefully going to be able to pull that plate out. I'm not entirely sure if I can, but I don't see any other way around this till I can get that plate out. And there's the offending bracket. That sits on top of that cover there, and below all of these looms. I've had to take this pipe off of here, and unfortunately I've broke this pipe here. I'm not entirely sure what that does. There's no fuel in it, so it's not diesel. I think it might be a vacuum pipe or something, but I'm not too sure. But I've had to take that off to loosen this rigid pipe, which goes along the front of, or behind I should say, the cover itself, which is there at the end of my finger. Don't know if you can see. It's really difficult to actually film this because there's no space whatsoever for a hand, let alone a camera. Now getting the cover off, it's the same as the front. It probably, once I've got this cover out, the whole job is probably pretty self-explanatory, but getting to it is an absolute ball ache. Incredible, absolutely incredible. Right, let's see if I can get this cover off. There's always a way, and rarely does it beat me. One diesel timing belt cover out of the way, and to do that I had to do an awful lot of things you would not believe. So the issue is these two pipes, this one here and this one here, they run along right close up against the cover. With these pipes in situ, there is no way that that cover can come off, and if there is, it's purely by luck alone, and if you got it off, I doubt you'd actually get it back on again. So what I've had to do, there is a cover which goes around the ABS unit and around this module down here, which presumably, I'm not entirely sure what module that is, but there's a heck of a heavy loom comes off of that. There's a cover there. I've taken that cover off. To get that cover off, you've got to take this cross brace off, which goes across from one side of the wings to the other. And interestingly, the bolts on this side have been greased, and that was not me that greased them. So that means someone's been here before, and I suspect they've done this job, and when they've put these bolts back, they've greased them, because these are open to the wheel arch and therefore rusty. The ones on the other side are rusty, but I've got them out and I've got the whole thing off. As you can see, it's just laid across the engine at the minute, but it is disconnected at the other end. That allowed me to get this cover out, which looks like this, and it sits down in there like that and basically shields the ABS unit. That then in turn allowed me to get access to a little bracket down here, which I'm not sure if you can see. That one there, which is this pipe here. If I wiggle it, you can see it moving, and it bolts to the EGR, back under the EGR valve, which is right under there. That's that one. So that's got that one loose, and I've managed to move that up. Additionally, there's another one for this pipe, this other pipe, which runs along the back, and I don't know what it's for. I think it goes to the EGR valve, so I don't think it's anything other than that, but I didn't want to disconnect anything. I'm not sure. I don't think it's aircon. I'm pretty sure it's EGR, but I didn't want to disconnect it, as I say. But I've unbolted it just here where my finger is, so this then can also move enough to be able to get it out of the way of the cover itself. And I've got the bracket out that I spoke about earlier that I was doing. What else have I done? Oh, there's a plastic cover which basically holds all of this loom and everything, sits over here. Got that out as well. That's just a couple of 8mm screws, 8mm AF that is. And now I can actually get to the back side of the diesel timing belt cover, and the next problem is working out how I'm going to change that. I believe there are some timing marks, and the reason I know that is because on the belt itself there is a white mark there and a white line there, and they line up with timing marks that are on the two pulley wheels. So I think a mirror is in order to try and get inside to see exactly where those timing marks are, and I'm hoping that that means those timing marks there are visible when the engine is on top dead center, which is what you need when you do the cam belt. But I'm not going to know that for a few minutes until I get a mirror and get in there and have a look and actually see what I'm dealing with, because you cannot actually look straight at the pulley wheels. It's impossible unless you've got eyes on stalks, of course. So that's taken best part of 2 hours to get to this point. Now obviously I've been feeling my way with it, so somebody that knows what they're doing will do this quicker, and obviously I would do this quicker in the future if I have to do it again in the future. But on the Jaguar XF, and of course this is in the Land Rover, it's in a Discovery, well, it's certainly in Discovery, and it's certainly in Range Rover. I'm not entirely sure about Land Rover, to be honest. It won't be in, don't think it's in Defender. But this engine is in those cars, it's in the XJ. This is about an XF. So it may be different on other vehicles, but those pipes have got to be out of the way to get that cover off, otherwise you're going nowhere. Now there is no way you're going to do this without a mirror. Where my screwdriver is, that there is the back of the diesel pump. That is the pulley, the drive pulley for the diesel pump, and you can see I've made a white mark, and what is actually there is an elongated mark in the pulley, which has got to be facing around about 1 o'clock. And just there at the end of my screwdriver on the camshaft pulley, which is the back of the camshaft, there is another slot in the pulley just there. That's got to be facing somewhere around about 11 o'clock. And then it's a case of undoing, just on the end of my screwdriver, undoing the tensioner and installing the belt with the white marks that I showed you earlier. The white lines on the belt correspond with those 2 timing marks on the 2 sprockets. I've not found how to use the locking tool that I've bought. I've tried to fiddle with it to get it to fit, but it does not fit where I want it to fit. So I am going to do it with this method of lining up these 2 lines. What I've done is I've cut the belt, and the reason I've cut the belt is if you look at the end of the tensioner, you can see that there is no way of holding or detensioning the tensioner spring. So all the while you're unscrewing that screw, there's tension on this spring, and you're going to run the risk, I think, of pulling out the threads on the end of either the bolt or where the bolt screws into, and if you do that, you're not going to be able to screw your new bolt back in. So I think, to err on the safe side, the best thing to do is cut the belt so you end up with one great long piece of belt, no use to anybody now, and then completely unscrew the tensioner and take it away. Just again, there's a white mark there, that line there, and there's one just there, and line those up with the 2 marks on the pulleys as I showed you a minute ago on the mirror. You've got a tongue there which goes into a slot actually in the back of the engine block just below the screw thread, and that's where that's got to sit, so that sits in there. And then it's literally a case of you do it up with the belt round it, and there is no way of holding it any other way. You pull this pin out and the thing will tension automatically, and everything should be hunky-dory. There's no hexagon to hold it like on a normal cam belt tensioner. There's nothing there. There's no hexagon, either Allen hexagon or a socket or anything to hold the tensioner at all. You literally put it in, pull the pin, and it tensions, and the job done. So effectively you have to destroy the belt to get it out, otherwise you risk destroying the threads where this screws into the engine block, and you do not want to be doing that. Let's get it on. That took some doing, but you can do it. It's a lot of fiddling about with your fingers, but you can probably see there in the mirror, white line on the belt matches up with the white line and the tooth on the sprocket on the diesel pump. And I don't know if you can see there, but on that cam sprocket on the back of the camshaft, white line matches up with the line on the pulley. You get one shot at it, because once you pull the tensioner, you're back to square one. You may have to cut the belt off and start again, or run the risk of pulling the thread out of the block, because there's such a huge tension on that spring, it could easily damage that thread. Right, I'm going to pull that pin, and that should tension up, and that'll be that done. Oh dear, what a job. This job is a mad job. No wonder it's as expensive as it is, given the labour time. The actual changing of the belts is normal cam belt process. Getting to it is the pain in the neck. If you're thinking of doing it yourself, then you're going to need special tools. You're going to need female torques, which I didn't have. I mean, I had them about a year ago for another job I did on a modern car, but you don't use them on old tractors or old Fords or old Austins. So I had to go out and buy those. You needed the locking tools if you wanted to do it properly, but even then some of them you can't actually use. I did find out in the end how to lock the diesel pump, but the diesel pump is not free spinning, so it didn't move when I tried to put the belt on. And you just line the lines up anyway with the belt, as long as both lines marks line up with the marks on the pulleys in the right place, then you're okay there. It's a tough one. Have you got the time to do it? If you have, then yeah, by all means do it, because nothing else, it's a bit of fun. You learn something. It's a bit frustrating. There's some difficult screws and bolts to get at, but now I know how to get to it and I know what to do, I wouldn't hesitate doing it again. Having said that, I have gone home every day feeling it, really have, you know, bending over the bonnet or bending over the wings into the engine bay for hours on end, stiff fingers, cramp, etc, etc. I won't go into all my woes, but nonetheless, if you're going to do it, you know, think hard. But you're going to save yourself a fair amount of money. £800 in a specialist, double that in a dealer, maybe more. Not surprising, there's a lot of labour. Anyway, I suppose the last thing we ought to do is check that it works. The answer to that is yes, it does. No horrible knocks. It sounded exactly the same as it did before I started, so I'm quite happy with that. I'll let it warm up, see if I get any water leaks. But, yeah, pretty much everything looks like it's working as it should be. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was of use to you, and until the next time, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.